All right, going live in three, two, one. Well, this is Undeniably Unstable with Chardonnay. Chardonnay, how are you doing today?
Well, how are you?
I'm okay. I'm okay. As we were talking before we went live, you're in a very peaceful and a very tranquil looking place right now. Would you like to describe tell people where you are?
Oh, yeah, I am in the courtyard of the Dobie Student Spaces in West Campus at UT Austin, University of Texas at Austin.
Oh, okay. So are you a student there? I don't know. I'm not sure what your affiliation is with that.
I'm not officially a student. Am a I'm hanging out with a friend here, and we're taking a similar course for the summer.
Oh, okay.
So we figured since we were both in the same class, I would just hang out around here for a little bit.
The just whenever you talk, there's like a just to let you know, for those wondering at home, I heard this before we went live. Whenever Chardonnay talks, there's like a little bit of an echo of some sort. So it's not bad. It's not bad. We can understand you fine. But in case people are wondering, it's probably the environment where you're located that's picking up a lot of the ambient sound. That's what I think I'm hearing. So, but we're good. We're good. We're good. So, the other thing I noticed is that I said this before we went live as well, is that the sun is out, because I was like surprised. Is it even getting close to sunset there? I think we're only like an hour off.
Yeah, it's 8:30.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, sunset started probably at 8:30.
Oh, okay. So you gonna be okay where you're sitting? Is it gonna get too dark eventually?
It may very well. I can relocate. We can do
Oh,
this together.
okay. Okay. That's cool. But so I guess so how's the I guess other than that, how are things going where you are? I guess the usual questions, how's the weather?
It is hot. It is hot now. It is getting hot. Um, I don't know. We're reaching the evil time period in Texas, in the yearly Texas calendar, where it's just 90 degrees all the time.
Do you have the humidity? I forgot if you had the humidity or not. You might have told me already, and I forgot.
The humidity is intense always.
Oh, okay, okay.
Um, yeah, like the further south you get into Austin, it seems the humidity gets kind of worse. It's at 63% today.
Okay. All right. That's sounds like it's what's getting like here as well. We're getting about the same. So we haven't got we went up and down in the 80s and the 90s. So we're not quite steady in the 90s yet, but that'll be probably by August we'll be, maybe late July we'll be like that. So
By late July and August, we'll be in the hundreds.
oh boy. Oh, I don't want to, yeah.
Yeah.
This is not like fun at all. So what
No,
would you like to look at last week's question? What we asked
I
our
would.
audience? Okay, let me bring this up here. This is the question we asked. Okay, hold a second. Let me bring it up. Here we go. All right. So, which franchise do you think has the best alien concept? So we asked. The Alien movies was overwhelmingly the answer that people chose at 71%. That's pretty high. Um,
Yeah.
Other ones we chose, we have Predator came in next at 11%. Next down, we have 8% with Avatar. Halo at only 6%, and Mass Effect at a mere 4%. What do you think about those numbers?
I'm surprised Halo didn't win. I'm a huge fan of the Halo aliens.
Oh, okay.
Um, I told you, I don't know if you remember, because you didn't play Halo, which is just absolutely amazing to me. But Halo aliens are sort of like a military hierarchy. They're like foot soldiers that are called grunts, and then there are like squadron leader aliens that are called elite, and the design kind of changes the higher up along the hierarchy they are. Uh, I thought it was a great concept. The xenomorphs are very cool though. Um, that honestly, I could see that being the winner. I'm not mad.
The of course in Aliens we had more than just the xenomorphs. We also had when Prometheus would they had, what did they call, the creators? I forget what they were called.
Yeah, the
But
creators is what they refer to them as.
yeah, so we had those aliens as well. So um, and those were very human-like. Because if I remember correctly, wasn't it the human beings were the human race was based on their design or something? Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I haven't seen. I've only seen the movie once, and I don't really remember it very well. But
It was like a pretty forgettable movie. Like it was very hard to get into. And I don't know if I have to look it up. I don't know if the Prometheus alien design was made by the same artist or if they were like Hollywood continuations of the series.
hmm.
Um, but the guy who made the design for the aliens, H.R. Geiger,
I think it's Giger.
Geiger,
I think it's Giger. I think it's pronounced
Giger.
Giger. Yeah, he was
um,
very, very, very sexually minded. A very obviously sexually minded. In a lot of his designs. A lot of,
yeah,
if you look at his stuff, very intense sexual minded person. So
definitely. His designs are definitely a little Freudian, to say the least. Um, but I don't know. He's a brilliant, like, if I had to call him like a fringe artist, I think he's really cool.
no,
So
okay.
I could see that being I could see that being the winner. It's a
Okay.
winner, I guess.
Okay. Well, let's look at the responses here. I'm kind of curious. Let me sort these. We get the newest ones. Last response was 6 days ago. We got yes, a bald kid turning into ice is my favorite alien. Bald kid turning into ice. What does that mean exactly? He's got me on that one. Is that a reference to one of the other aliens? Uh-oh. Chardonnay, we lost Chardonnay. Uh-oh. Well, we'll have to hold on a second while she tries to reconnect here. So got a little technical error there. So Chardonnay, if you're there, go ahead and reconnect so we can you know, I think we're on a little technical difficulty. Chardonnay was at an outside location, and right now, Chardonnay, if you can hear us or hear me, I should say, I'm able to see your blank avatar, but nothing else, and I'm not able to hear or see you at all. So it says you're connected in some way, but I can't tell exactly what your status is. In the meantime, while you're trying to reconnect, look at this. Yes, I'll read that again. Yes, a bald kid turning into ice. Oh, she's disconnected completely. So is my favorite alien. That one you got. That one I'm a little lost on. So I think there's obviously a reference there. I just don't understand what it is. Next one down, Halo with a big thumbs up. Let's see what we got here. Next one down, Yellow comments. He says xenomorphs are the most alien of all of the other picks. Every one of them has humanity that some of the aliens don't have, that some of the aliens doesn't have, is a feral creature compared to the other species and lives through a through a reproduction cycle akin to rape. Oh, okay. That's a good one. That's true. That's true. That's true. Let's see. Next one down comes from Valentine. I can't pronounce the last name. Sorry. Kids chasing aliens. They forgot about Predator. Let's see. Do we kids chasing aliens? I'm not sure. So Half-Life. I've never played Half-Life. I've had people recommend I play that. So, but I've never played it myself. And by the way, people are still waiting. We're waiting for Chardonnay to reconnect. Hopefully, she'll get back to us very soon here. She was outside, and all of a sudden we just lost her connection. So let's take a look here. Option number 1 by Sandeep Mohan, with a big smile. So just, I guess he just likes aliens. Go down. Predator. I skipped. I skipped this response right here. You spelled alien. Yeah, I know I spelled alien wrong. Yes, I know. I spelled it wrong. Neither. Excuse me. Neither, comma. GTA has the best alien concept. Let's see. GTA 5 has the aliens. They show a whole bunch of those. Grand Theft Auto San Andreas makes mention of aliens during the mission Black Project, but they don't actually show any aliens. So I forget what the line is. It's mentioned over the intercom while CJ's doing the mission. I can't remember how it goes exactly. And the bottom one, Gaming Alive, says second like and first comment from India. Thank you very much, Gaming Alive. So, well, it looks like Chardonnay. We may have lost Chardonnay. So we may have to end this a little sooner than I thought. We'll keep on going and see if she comes back on board, though. Let's see. So the question, let's see if we can find another question. Oh, there she is. There you are. How are you?
Good. My tablet decided to update.
Oh,
so
okay.
Yeah. So I took that as like a good opportunity to relocate indoors anyway.
Okay. We were hoping maybe an alien had not abducted you. So.
It's always aliens, I think. I've noticed the irony of this always happening here where I talk about aliens. They know. They're on to me.
So I was reading through some of the comments waiting for you to come back. The first comment was this is where I lost you. So it says, yes, a bald kid turning into ice is my favorite alien. Do you know what that reference is? Because that one he's got me on that one. Maybe you know.
No, I don't. I think maybe that's in reference to Prometheus. But bald kid frozen ice. It could also be in reference to Halo. Now that I think about it, but we don't know that. Like in Halo, the main character Master Chief doesn't ever really take off his helmet.
Okay.
He is in like cryogenic chamber at like various periods in the game. I don't know. I can't say for sure.
Okay. Well, it's definitely not any of the alien movies I can think of. And you and I talk about the alien movies. We're talking about like Prometheus being forgettable. The only alien movies I really like are the first and the second one. So,
yeah.
And I'm not usually a big fan of like military movies, but I will say that when I saw Aliens, I was like, it changed my opinion on military movies a little bit. So I thought I liked the grittiness and the realistic attitude that the soldiers had in that one. So,
what's your issue with military movies?
I'm just not a big fan of violence and things like that. Sometimes that's all. I'm not fully against military movies, but when it comes to war, I don't like things that glorify war. That's all.
Gotcha.
That's all. So it wasn't really glorifying war, so it was likable. There are other military movies I like as well. So, let's see. The next one down was I said Halo with a big thumbs up. The yellow was the next one down. Says xenomorphs are the most alien of the other picks. Every one of them has humanity that the alien doesn't have. Is a feral creature. Yeah, is a feral creature to the other species and lives through a reproduction cycle akin to rape. And yeah, that's true. Yes, if being forced to have a thing go down your throat. Yes, very much so. Let's see. Kids choosing.
I like that comment.
Yeah, I got one thumbs up. He might have given it to himself, though. We don't know. Kids choosing aliens. They forgot about Predator. Okay, so I guess Valentine here is probably commenting on the fact that too many people chose Alien but forgot about Predator, I guess. So, Half-Life. Now that's a game. Have you ever played Half-Life?
I have played Half-Life.
Is it good? People suggest that I play that.
You've never played Half-Life?
No, I've not. I'm sorry.
What games have you played? Do you only play Grand Theft Auto?
Let's see, the driver games. Driver, which is I played like 5 of those. Driver 2, Driver 3, Driver San Francisco, and Driver Parallel Lines, and then pretty much all the Grand Theft Auto games from Grand Theft Auto 3 forward. So, and I also played Red Dead Redemption 2, and some other games here and there that I played. I'm playing.
Okay. So your ultimate like fantasy getaway escapism is like car thief. Got it. Yeah. Okay, that checks out.
Yeah, I don't usually play the alien type game, the games that involve aliens very much. I think technically Grand Theft Auto 5 had aliens in it.
I
That was
mean, technically, I don't think that counts.
but yeah, I've never, I would not, I've had several years ago, I had several people suggest I upload videos for Half-Life, and I never did. So, is that a good game? It seems like a lot of people like it.
I liked Half Life. It was more something my older brother played. I mostly just watched him play through, but I like the art, and I don't know. I guess like it wouldn't be in my top it wouldn't be in my top like five favorite Alien games though, or Alien concept though.
Okay. Are there different, are many different kinds of aliens in the game? Since I haven't played it.
No, I don't believe there are many types of aliens. What I remember of it is, excuse me. No, I don't remember. I would say it has like the same diversity level as like maybe Mass Effect, but I don't know. I wouldn't have listed that game. It's a good game though.
Yeah, but it's not.
My brother like never ever ever stopped playing it when it came, and he like waited his like most of our childhood for Half Life 2.
Oh, it's fun. So, is he still playing today?
I have no idea. I don't think he plays video games anymore.
Oh, okay.
I think he's evolved.
Oh, I guess that means I've not evolved because I'm still playing them. The next one down, Predator, Sandeep. The next one says option number one is a big smiley face, and then someone pointing out that I spelled alien wrong. Yes, we know that. Brandon P, regular commenter, says neither. GTA has the best alien concept, and as far as I can remember, GTA 5 had aliens, like almost like xenomorphs kind of aliens, not exactly, but similar. And also in Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, they made mention of an alien uh, in one of the missions, but they never actually showed any aliens. So CJ goes in a mission called Black Project. He has to go capture a sealed jetpack. And while during in the mission, there's a woman speaking on the intercom, and she makes mention to alien of some kind. I can't remember how it goes exactly, but that's about it as far as that goes. So I don't that comment. I guess maybe Grand Theft Auto 5 is what it's referring to, because I don't think there are aliens in any other game of the Grand Theft Auto ones. And the other one is just a person saying he was the first comment from India. So, oh, I guess there's this rule that some people say that they'll pick whatever the first topic is or first item is, and that becomes the most popular. I don't know if that's true, because I've seen like they saw aliens, they picked that one because it was at the top. I don't know if that's true. I mean, I think aliens is probably out of those probably the most popular. So I think it's pretty accurate. So.
No, I think this is a pretty accurate assessment. Plus, like, I think there have been questions where our first answer wasn't the most popular answer.
No, there definitely is not. It's just some people I've heard other people say that that's why the first one is the most popular sometimes. Though. So. Okay. So do you have a question for our viewers for this week?
I do. I was formulating a question based on a joke a friend told me. The joke, well, it was a joke question, but he asked if I thought welcome mats were like if I thought welcome mats were like a bad thing to have when defending against a vampire.
Really?
Yeah, well, because the legend is that vampires have to be invited indoors. So if you have a welcome mat, they automatically invited in.
Okay, you have.
So that's kind of that was kind of the question I had.
Okay, let's see if I can phrase it right. We'll have to put an explanation on there, so people know what you mean there. Because I didn't know what you mean until you explained that. So okay, do you think welcome mats are? Say it again. Do you think welcome mats are?
What's a better way to formulate the question? Let's see. Do you think welcome mats are is
Or a bad thing to have, and
yeah, is a welcome mat a bad thing to have in the event of a vampire attack?
that is a bad thing. Okay, hold on. In the event,
I guess do welcome mats work on vampires? It's a better question.
okay, we can actually pose it twice in a way. Hold on a second. Say it second one again. I'm sorry. I was
Do welcome mats work on vampires?
okay. We'll do this. Or do welcome mats work on vampires? Let's see. Do you think welcome mats are a bad thing to have in the event of a vampire attack, or do let's see. I guess we should only limit it to one. Okay, we can just use the second question. I guess it's more straightforward and simple. You want to do that?
Yeah.
Okay. Those are a little too complex there. Do you think a welcome mats? Oh, I pressed the yes. Okay. Do welcome mats work on vampires? And do you want to give the explanation again? Because I think we do need to explain that, because I think people.
Yeah, the explanation is that the old legend is that a vampire has to be welcomed into your home or invited into your home to be able to enter. But if there's a mat that says like welcome or come on in or something of that nature, is that automatically an invitation? Like, do they win?
Okay. It has to be welcomed into your home. Is that good?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's welcome your home. And how's that? Say again. How does the welcome mat? Does the welcome mat? Oh, it does. And does the welcome mat? How did you
count as an invitation?
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. There you go. Welcome mat act as an invitation. I'm glad you said that again. There we go. Okay, good. No, Matt is spelled. Wait a minute. How's it? What is Matt spelled? M-A-T?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm thinking of the name. Matt.
Yeah.
Of course, I know his name is Matt, so never mind. Okay. Yes. No. Okay. It has to be twos. A vampire has to be welcomed into your home and act. Okay, and does the welcome mat act as as an invitation? As that invitation. Okay, we can leave it. That's what do you think?
No, it does look good. I think it looks good.
Okay, cool. And what? Any other responses?
I am a vampire.
Oh, okay. I like that one. Okay. All right. So anything else?
Nope.
Okay, we'll go ahead and post that and see what we get here. There we go. Cool. Now we can come back to that one. It's the end of the show. See what kind of response we get. So where are you at right now? I'm just kind of curious. Where did you?
Now I'm in, I guess, the cafe area. It's sort of like a lounge area.
Oh, okay. I can hear a little bit of something in the background. I just can't tell what it is. Your audio sounds much better. There's an echo, but it's not that strange.
Yeah, I think this echo kind of balances out with the general echo you get from the acoustics in this room.
Now, before we went live, you were talking. About a situation involving. What was the actress's name?
Allison Mack.
Allison Mack. Okay, so what did you want to talk about? What? Because I didn't understand everything you're talking. Why don't you explain to everyone what's going on with Allison Mack? She was recently sentenced to prison. Yeah,
3 years in prison. She was involved with a cult called Nixon. It's actually a cult that has been prevalent for a little while, but has had them
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. You
4 years. I'm going to sum it up to.
Okay, you cut out for a second there. You were talking about it, and then you came back and you said 4 years.
Hello?
Yeah, you're there now. We got you.
Zoom. Can you hear
Yeah,
me?
we can hear you now. Can you hear us? Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I was calling you too. I'm so sorry. Where did I cut off?
You cut off. You just said that she'd been something about 4 years, and then I did with that's you were cutting off at that point. So I didn't. I was asking you to repeat that part because I missed what you had said about 4 years. Something about 4 years.
Yeah. So that's sort of how long I think the cult has been most active in like popular media is the past like couple of years. Most of the people involved have been sentenced to prison within 2019 and 2020.
Okay, could you explain? Tell everyone what the cult is because I've never heard of this before. You told me this.
So Nixum was a cult created by a man named Keith Rainier. Um, he was sort of one of those what are they called, like life coach people, self-help people. Like he sold seminars and things of that nature.
Okay.
Um, those crazy like Yes Man Jim Carrey movie style seminars.
Gotcha.
So Nixon was sort of like one of his like propaganda projects that became big. It was picked up by a lot of big names, big time actresses and CEOs were involved with it. Lauren Salzman from the Seagrams family, the gin.
Oh, okay.
She was, yeah, she was involved in it. Allison Mack from, Smallville, the Superman movie was involved with it. Lots of very.
You said Superman. You mean the TV show when you say that, right? Not the movie.
Yeah, not the movie. It's Smallville's a TV show about the origins of like the Superman superhero.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
You said movie. I just wanted to make sure we were talking about the same thing. Okay, that's fine.
Did I say movie? I'm sorry.
No big deal. No big deal.
So not allegedly, I guess they've all come out clean about it now. They were involved in forced labor, sex trafficking.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. And there's actually a show on Hulu I was telling you about, extreme beliefs and cults like that. It's on Hulu. It's become one of my favorite shows for this sort of thing. But sorry. I'm losing my train of thought. What were you gonna say? I'm sorry.
Well, that's a technical thing. I can hear you perfectly fine, but it looks like your image has frozen. So we just see your face. We can't see you, so we can't see you actually talking. I'm just letting you know. So let me see here. Yeah, you're frozen. I can hear you fine though. So if you want.
That's hilarious. Am I making a fun face?
You're just like it looks like you're kind of like mesmerized about something. So
that's awesome.
So, but at least people know what you look like there. So I just wanted to let you know. But no, the Nixum. That's what you said. It's Nix. I don't know. It sounds like the president, but obviously not. What does that mean exactly? Does that have a meaning or something? You know?
I do not know. And actually, I don't know. I don't know the exact relevance of it, and it's not even something that. So one of the stories is like women who were inducted into this cult would get branded by the founder. Nixum wasn't even like the brand they use. They would brand each other with his initials.
Brand,
so
like
with like they do cattle.
Oh my goodness! Wow, that sounds painful.
I imagine it hurts a lot. Yeah.
Oh, you know what? You know what? We can. I'm looking at the live stream right now. You are live. For some reason, my screen, you're frozen. So for the people watching the video, I guess you're perfectly fine. It's just my image of you is frozen for some reason. That's really odd. So I think we're okay. I think we're okay.
Okay. That's awesome.
So, Brandy, I mean, who would do that? Who would allow themselves? I would never allow myself to be. I don't even allow myself to get a tattoo, or piercing, or anything like that. Let alone branding. And I mean, that's an extreme right there. I mean, how do you feel about that?
No, it's extremely extreme. It really, I don't know. I always wonder about people who would allow that. You know, that's a completely different level of devotion.
Do you remember? Have you ever seen the Blade movies? With
Oh yeah,
where they had the humans, and they were all branded by the vampires. They had little branding marks on their neck and the back.
yeah.
That's what it reminds me of when you said that. That's the first thing I thought of. But that, at least on that, that didn't look super painful so
No,
much.
that one looked sort of like a tattoo or like a stamp.
Yeah, yeah, like it could have been. So but the and what was was this mostly women that were part of this group? I mean, because it says she was recruiting female slaves, because you said there were men there too, right? The leader was a
Yeah,
man.
the leader was a man. It was mostly women involved in it, and again, it was like women of extremely high status. But there were men involved as well, just not like not sought after the way the women were.
So basically, it sounds like they were looking, a lot of men looking the way that like they can control women, and I guess this was there a lot of sex? I guess.
Yeah, one of the convictions for the cult was sex trafficking. There were reports of Keith Rainier having like an entire separate island where he would keep women and children and stuff like that. It's real horror stuff.
It sounds like I've never heard of Keith Ramirez until this minute that I know of.
Yeah, and that's crazy too. A lot of people hadn't heard of him. I hadn't heard of him again until Isolation. When I was deep in the bowels of Hulu, I came across this show, and that's how I found out.
No, the show. What show was this? I mean, how old was the show you watched?
Cults and Extreme Beliefs. I believe it's like only a couple years old. I think maybe it's a 2-year-old show.
Oh, okay.
I think it came out during Isolation, I believe.
Okay, gotcha. Is it part of a series of other shows? Is it like they have a different topic every week or something like that?
Yeah, they have different topics after a few episodes. I think the Nixon cult took up 2 episodes, I believe.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So, reading through the article now, what I'll do is I'll post a link in the video in the description below if anyone wants to read this. Basically, it says the actress Allison Mack recruited female slaves, in quotes, into a secret sorority. Okay. Collected information used to coerce their compliance and directed several women to seduce the groups. to seduce the group. Now that's yeah, that sounds kind of creepy right there. To seduce the group's leader, Keith Ramirez. She and Ramirez discussed the design of ceremonies in which he suggested so-called slaves will be branded, like you said, with his initials, while unclothed and tied down. Oh, goodness. Almost like a sacrifice, it says. Was anybody? I mean, if they're doing this, I don't know if they're doing this and they're adults and they're consenting. I mean, what was the? But I mean, people want to do certain things, so should they do that?
That's the best response. What goes on in a room of consenting adults? um, yeah, that was a. Fight Club's not technically illegal. I guess you're right, but they were up to a lot of mischief, you know. um, and a huge part of it also was them selling these sort of seminars.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was a huge part of the operation, was selling these sort of self-help seminars to people.
Gotcha.
Is that what racketeering is?
I believe. I was thinking that's what it sounds like. I'm not fully sure about the definition of racketeering. I know it's not. Whatever I heard, it's never in a good light. So.
Yeah, well, they were doing that too. No, it was a whole lot of things, and it was a part. And he would recruit people to work as part of this executive program, and they would have to sell this entire mentality to people, and a lot of money went into it.
So
a lot of money.
Did they disclose? We say a lot of money. Were the people that were involved that were recruited, were they like rich in some way? I sound like they were very rich, and that's probably why they lured them in.
Yeah, it was people who were part of the cult were Anna Cristina Fox. She's the daughter of a former Mexican president. I believe it's like Vicent Fox or something like that. Vincent.
Okay. I'm not sure.
He was a former Mexican president. His daughter Anna Cristina Fox was part of this cult as well.
Okay.
And
Jessica Juan, is that right? Am I or Jessica Jones? I'm sorry. I can't read the.
I can't either. If you could zoom in.
Let's see how I can. I don't know how to. Oh yeah, I guess I could try this. Yeah, here we go.
Control plus.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, sorry. I don't use the feature, so I have to remember how to do it.
I think it says Jessica Jones.
That's not. There we go. There we go. Yeah, Jessica Jones. Yes, that's what it was. Okay, we're good. We got it there. So yeah, Jessica Jones, what her name was. She said she was a victim of the group. Nick's how you pronounce it. Recorded in Brooklyn after Ms. Mack was sentenced to 3 years. So, now as far as there sounds like there's a lot of well-known people that are involved in this. Obviously, the actress from Smallville was there. Was anyone else well-known convicted in this?
Yeah, a lot of people. Let me find the list. There, like I said, sorry, there was former Surgeon General Antonia Novello, an Enron executive Stephen Cooper, the Seagrams, Eris, Claire, and Sarah Bronfman. Yeah, a lot of really important people.
It's interesting.
People with tons of money to burn.
Yeah, I mean, not only that, just seem to want to believe in ridiculous things.
Well, Zoom, what goes on in a room between consenting adults.
I mean, I agree. I mean, if people want to do whatever they want, that's their choice. But it's just amazing. I mean, obviously they were looking for. It seems to me like it's just, the money obviously was the main thing with this. I assume. I mean, I don't know all the details. But it seems like money was for this Mr. Vermeer, and obviously it sounds like he wanted a lot of sex as well. Oops, disconnected.
Whoa,
that was interesting. Now we have. Now you're on the screen twice.
It's the aliens.
Oh, we have to remove the first one. There we go. You had a weird echo when you did that, so I took the first one out. That was interesting.
The echo is still weird for me.
Oh, I turned it off. I hopefully it won't be bad. I tried to get that one out of there, so hopefully it won't be a problem for you. Sorry about that. So
No, it's okay. Let me find where the problem is coming from. Found it. Am I normal?
yeah, you sound fine.
Okay. Oh my gosh.
That was interesting. It was like they were teasing you for a second.
They're on to me. They know I'm talking about it.
So what was the interest? What was your interest in this whole story? I'm just what made you what was your fascination about this?
Well, I'm just kind of a fan of like propaganda like this, you know. Um, so I saw like a show during isolation where, you know, I had nothing better to do than watch Hulu, and the show came out, and I was like totally about it.
Oh, okay. Okay, I see. Then that's I got you. And you got
Yeah.
invested in it, and then you were like you wanted to learn more. And so this the news broke a few days ago. And is it when the show that you saw was it talking about what's the Allison Mack, was she mentioned in the show?
Allison Mack was mentioned in the show at the time. I think that was when she got arrested, and I think actually the show was might have been a huge catalyst of her being persecuted for it, because the show itself is about like a woman who actually left the society. She was one of the interviewees for it, and she named a lot of people.
Oh, okay. Okay. So I wonder if there's kind of a plea deal in this with that, if she named a lot of people, because she still got sentenced.
I definitely not Allison Mack, the one of the interviewees for the show.
Oh, okay.
She ratted out. I don't want to say ratted out. I'm sure these people were already under allegations, but she brought to light via the show all of these wrongdoings that were going on.
So I mean, is if you're rich enough and you're powerful, you know, the connections, you could start a little sex slave cult and take people's money. I guess, is that how it works?
You know, as history would have it, you don't even need to have that. Was Jim Jones rich?
I don't know.
I don't know either. I don't think he was. I don't know. Apparently, and there are still people that loyally follow this guy too, Keith.
Oh, I bet. Oh yeah, yeah, because they're yeah, you're always going to find people who are devout to any, you know, once they begin their following, they'll never, you know.
Yeah, and apparently his followers still do like dances and like organized protests outside of his cell.
So yeah,
like,
yeah, sorry. He's now facing. He's also locked up as well. I didn't see.
Yeah, facing 120 years.
Oh, I didn't see that part at all.
I don't think that's in this article.
You got to go back, because you know you need to tell us about it, because I didn't even know that. So when was he convicted? The same.
He was convicted a couple of years ago.
Oh, okay. Oh, so when the special came out, he was already behind bars.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. And
in 2018.
Okay, gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
And so, is the cult is still going on? I mean, who's funding it?
Well, it's like a well-funded cult, like the Bronfman sisters, who this is the Seagrams company. They donated like $2 million for it. Like, it's extremely well funded.
Wow.
And allegedly he still gives people instructions from behind bars.
Wow. And it's still functioning and everything. That's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Allison Mack, she got sucked in. I don't want to say sucked in. Maybe she went in. I mean, I don't know how she got. I don't know how she got indoctrinated into the whole thing, but
She
she went into
apparently she helped recruit people.
what?
Yeah.
I mean, how did she get it initially though? What was her initial contact? Is what I meant. So how did she? I just
I think another actress had invited her into.
Okay, I got it. I see.
Hello.
So yeah, I'm here. Can you hear? We can hear you fine. You're perfectly fine. Are you able to hear us?
Mm-hmm.
Can you hear us?
Yeah.
Okay, you're good. We didn't lose you.
Yes.
So okay, maybe you lost us.
I think I
Okay,
did.
you're good. You were good here the whole time. So, yeah. So she got that. Where did we leave off? I'm sorry. We were talking about how she got into. You said another actress or something got her into it or something.
Yeah, I believe it was another Smallville actress.
Oh, really? Oh, okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
So how many Smallville people did? What's his name played? Roy, is it Roy Schneider? Or is it? I can't remember his name. The guy, father. I can't remember his name
I
though.
haven't. Oh yeah, the actress's name was Kristen Laura Kruk.
Okay, let me bring up.
But
Wait a second. How about the guy who played Superman?
I don't know, but it makes you wonder, right?
Yeah.
If maybe he was involved in it too. Who knows?
I was thinking of like what's the guy's name? Hold on, I'm bringing it up right now. I had to look at the cast. That show was on until 2011. I didn't watch it that much. Well, I didn't watch it at all, really. I remember seeing little previews every once in a while, but I never got into it. So we were talking about that before. So there we go. I'm going to bring up the IMDb. Here's a list of everyone that's here. Who am I thinking? Who is Clark Kent's father? That's the person I was thinking of before. Is that Roy? John Snyder. John Snyder. That's who I was thinking of. John Snyder. That's who I could. So, no, I don't think he's involved in that.
I should hope not.
And yeah, let's see, Allison Mack. There she is. So that's what she looks like. Okay. Now, what was her role in the show? She was pretty young when the show came out, so she was probably able to see that. Can you hear me? I can hear you fine.
No, I couldn't just then. I was waiting for you to come back.
Oh, okay. Okay. So what was her role in the show?
I believe she was crap. Who is she? She's one of the
Let me bring up her.
more like she's one of the main characters.
Yeah. She was in according to this, she was in 206 of the episodes and only second to Tom Welling. I guess Tom Welling played Superman, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So yeah, her character's name was that, can't read, Chloe Sullivan, is that right? I think I'm trying to.
Yeah.
Okay.
She also played Supergirl.
Supergirl in the show or in another way?
I think she played Supergirl in the show.
Oh, okay. Okay. Oh, that's a video. I'm gonna play video. Okay. Interesting. So, well, as far as the show itself, now I guess we could talk about the show. How did you feel about the show? Did you like it?
I watched it a lot when I was younger. Like it would come on in the wee hours at my grandma's house because she had no cable. So when I spent the summers there, I watched the show. And I always liked it. Like it had really like cool villains, and the concept of like rural Superman was really cool. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. As far as like the introduction of the characters, I mean, he's basically Superman, but he's still a teenager, or supposed to be a teenager, right?
Yeah, like his teenage, young adult years.
Okay. Mm-hmm. There used to be a comic book called a cartoon when I was younger called Superboy, which was basically the adventures. I think it was the adventures of Superman before he became Superman. So it sounds similar to that. So Did he actually wear the suit? It looked like the images where he was wearing the suit. Did he actually fly with the suit, like with the S and everything?
He no, he didn't have the suit. This was
Okay,
before the suit.
gotcha. Yeah. Yeah, there was, and Lex Luthor was in there too. It looked like, right? So, as far as the show in general, I mean, we're getting a little off topic, but how would you rate the show? Is it pretty good?
So when I saw it, it was a lot older. So shows are kind of, it had more of that. You know how we talked about Doctor Who, but you know how like the 2005 style of show is very different than shows now.
Yeah.
Like it's sort of like that. Like it has that sort of CW style drama and such. But it's a good show. I would rate the show, at least the episodes I saw during the time I saw it, which was in the early 2000s. I'd give it a solid 7.
Oh, okay. That's what the ratings have, a 7.5. So you're about the same. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean, was there any other as far as like the cults that or whatever this is part of? Were there any other cults that fascinated you with this? I mean, on the show, did they talk about anything else?
Yeah, we sort of started talking about they sort of have an episode where they're talking about Illuminati versus like in real life and in history. So that's sort of interesting because at one point I was watching Angels and Demons and stuff like that. They reference the Illuminati all the time. I think the Illuminati is the main antagonist of the show.
Angels and Demons. That sounds very familiar. You have to forgive me. What is that? It sounds very familiar.
It's the sequel to Da Vinci Code.
Oh, okay. And the movie, the movie Da Vinci Code, right? Because there was a TV series for that too, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I saw the.
That's Da Vinci's Demons, which is also a great show.
I never saw the sequel, and Da Vinci Code I saw like well over 10 years ago, so I don't barely remember it. So can't comment on that. I remember being I don't know. How did you feel about it? You've seen it, I assume, right?
Yeah.
Was it?
Angels and Demons I like a lot more than the Da Vinci Code, but they're pretty solid movies, especially if you like those kinds of Sherlock Holmes, Nancy Drew style things where you're putting clues together and stuff like that.
Wow, that movie came out in 2009. Is that right? Wow. Okay. Okay. And then Tom Hanks was in that one as well. Okay. I remember him being in the first one. Were there any others? I'm just curious. Let me see. Followed by Inferno. So there was a third movie in this?
I did not know about the third movie.
Oh, okay. Tom Hanks is also in that one too, playing the same character.
Did it say it came out in 2016?
Yeah. I've never heard of this one, so I don't know. So it's got a lower rating, like 6.2. It looks like it wasn't received very well. So let me see. Go back to the connections again. Give me 1 second. And then go back to the Da Vinci Code 2000. Oh, that was 2006. Okay. That sounds about right. I think I saw it. I did not see it at the theater. I remember seeing it when it was on TV. I think I saw it like well, they had on demand when I still had cable. I don't have cable anymore, but I think that was how I watched it. So, I like I said, I didn't know that there were 2 sequels. This is one of those movies I did see, and I don't remember disliking it, but I don't really remember much about it. It just seemed like, for me, it's like almost like Prometheus. I'd have to watch it all the way from the beginning again. So,
I don't think it's worth it to watch Prometheus from the beginning, but I see what you mean.
All right. So did you have now, as far as the Illuminati, I've heard that thrown around so many times. What do you have, what is your feeling about that?
Well, so that's like what makes it interesting. So the Illuminati originally is like 200 years old secret society that was sort of made in opposition to the Catholic Church, and were shut down ultimately by the Catholic Church. So there's that. And historically, they're very real. Today, it kind of refers to a new world order that allegedly exists. That, again, lots of famous and wealthy people are like a huge part of.
Okay. Is that what I've heard people throw around a lot, and I just never knew exactly what that was. So interesting. So how do you feel about the Illuminati then?
I think the premise is kind of cool. So the old Illuminati, the 200-year-old Illuminati, is sort of like the secret society is sort of like, Pythagoras, the triangle guy. Okay. One of the secret societies, he kind of provided tenets to or for, or they took from his work and such like that. So they have entire philosophies and tenets and stuff like that. And I always think from a historical standpoint, those are really, really cool. I like the lore and mythology and philosophies behind them. Those are interesting to me. What I think is interesting about the Illuminati is the implementations they try to how they try to incorporate it into the modern society. But at least now it sort of refers to a totalitarian government style that they are trying to implement.
And they're still trying to control the world from behind closed doors. Is that right?
Yes, basically.
Okay. Yeah, I hear, like I said, I've heard it thrown around. I never fully understood what it was. Is this something you've been interested in for a while, or is this something more recent?
Within the last 5 years.
Oh, okay. So it's so a little bit time. Not like I wasn't sure if it was like within the past few months or something. I got you.
No. I've never really dove deeply into it until, like I said, ISO, when I delved deep into a lot of subjects for lack of anything better to do.
The shows that you're watching, though, obviously those are going to be influenced in some way because they're just entertainment shows. They're not really providing facts and things like that. So, it's just there to entertain. You have to look up a counterpoint of view of what they're saying just to see what they're. Because obviously those shows are going to usually have some sort of, I assume, would have some sort of bias for or against what the subject matter is, and so they're trying to expose it or to say it's promoted or whatever. So, how did you the show itself? How would you felt it dealt with it?
I think it was pretty informational. I don't think they provided any real standpoint, the show itself or the network it was aired on. They had a lot of interviewees and testimonials. So it was more of a informative documentary type show. It's not. I don't think it takes a stance. Especially not in the case of Nixon, which turns out to be entirely real.
Nixon thing that's interesting. I never heard of it before. And what does it? Did you say? Maybe you said this. I missed it. Right. What does that stand for? Does it have a meaning or something?
No, if I find out, I'll tell you. But I have not seen or heard anything from the show or anything I had been reading that explained what exactly that meant.
Okay. As usual, I find it astounding. That people get into this. It's like Scientology, I guess, but Scientology is a little different, I guess. So, what's your feeling about Scientology?
I don't like Tom Cruise or his fake religion.
Oh, I saw something recently about Tom Cruise, and it was in fact, it was today. It was about him in Scientology. It was about someone who actually brought him into Scientology. This woman he was a friend or he was dating or whatever. She's the one that was responsible for him getting into it. I don't remember where I heard this. It was very recent, actually only within a few hours before we started our show. I don't know. Apparently, like there's more Hollywood people that are into it, which I find astounding considering how the person who started was just a science fiction writer. I forget his name now. Who started Scientology?
I don't
Oh,
remember his name either.
yeah, it's I know it just like Eon Hubbard. I can't remember it now. I would know. I recognize if I saw it. I just can't remember off the top.
L. Ron Hubbard.
Oh, L. Ron Hubbard. That's a Hubbard.
Yeah,
That's a L. Ron Hubbard. Yeah.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Hubbard.
So yeah, a science fiction writer, and people believe what he said. You know, you believe someone who writes science fiction. That's he knows what's going on. That's the thing that always gets me. It's kind of like watching Whitley Strieber, the guy who wrote the movie Communion, and says that alien abductions are real because he writes science fiction. So he must be real. You better believe him. So
Makes sense. Obviously, an expert.
yes, yes. Well, I want to go back to our question to see what kind of results we've gotten so far.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll bring this up here. Well, it looks interesting. All right, here we go. Give me a second. Okay, there we go. So far, oops, lost my mouse. 84 votes so far, no comments, and 18 thumbs up. Yes, do you welcome Matt's work on vampires? That's a vampire. I guess which question are they actually answering? A vampire has to be welcomed. Does it act as an invitation?
Well, I think it's essentially the same like question, like because the mat says welcome. So if it's working, they can come in, right?
Okay, so yes, so it does work. So it does work on vampires. 77% with yes out of 84 votes, 13% with no, and we have 10% that are vampires. Ooh, interesting.
That's awesome. Hi, vampires.
So 8.4 people out there are vampires. So. So yeah, hopefully we get some responses on this when we do our next show. So, how do you feel about the responses? Their votes, I should say.
No, I don't know. I was pretty like I feel like yes was like the overwhelming answer. I feel like that's irresponsible for people to have welcome mats now.
So where did you get this again? Where did you get this again?
A friend called me at 1 a.m. and asked.
9 o'clock in the morning just to ask you this question? Were you asleep?
Yeah. No, I'm never really asleep at 1 in the morning. But yeah, I have a close friend named CJ who we frequently call each other with these like random like, oh, I read about this, or I want your question of this. Like this is our relationship, this question. he frequently calls at odd hours of the day to ask me ridiculous questions.
His name isn't Carl Johnson, is it?
Carl Johnson. No, it's not. It's actually Calvin Jr.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, for those watching, though, that's the character from Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. So when you said CJ, a little light went off right there for me. So. And he was what was his how did he respond, what was his response, I guess, for that?
His response was no, because it's not an official you may come inside, but that's what welcome means, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So he would be of the 13 with the 13% that says no, is what you're saying.
Yeah, and the 77% of 84 people agree that his opinion's invalid.
So, but vampires are all based on the rules of the universe of the book or the TV show that's being created on anyway. So some shows like the vampires, I don't even know if they have those. Some of those, like in the movies, like the Blade movies you're talking about. I don't even think that counted because you didn't have to invite them in on those movies.
No, but those were like really cool vampires in the Blade movies. Well, I don't know. So apparently one of the things is if you yourself are a vampire, or don't own the property, the vampire has to be invited in by the owner of the property. So if another vampire owns the property, they can just walk on in. Or if the property doesn't have an owner, they can just walk on in.
Right. Do you ever seen the movie The Lost Boys?
No, I haven't.
Okay, I can't remember how it works exactly. The rule was if you invite a vampire in, I haven't seen the movie for a long time, but if you invite a vampire in, you lose the ability to detect a vampire. So that was it turned out that the head vampire in the movie revealed himself at the very end, and they said, how come we couldn't detect you? He said, did you not know the rule? If you invite someone in, then you can't detect him anymore. So that's how he was able to sneak past and get into the house, because they invited him. They did not know he was the head vampire. So, and then at the very end, I'm giving away the ending of the movie, but Grandpa comes in with a truck with a whole bunch of stakes, wooden stakes on the front of his truck. He rams the front door, and all the stakes impale all the vampires, and they all die. So.
Okay.
It's kind of a weird, like, basically there's a big final confrontation with all the vampires at the end, and it was revealed that it turns out the least person you suspected turned out to be the head vampire all along, even though it wasn't divulged at all throughout the entire movie. I forget what the character's name was. So, but yeah, that was the only time I ever heard about the welcoming in with a vampire. So, and as soon as you said that, that's what it reminded me of was the movie The Lost Boys. That came out like 1988, I think.
Oh, it's an old vampire movie.
Yeah.
So I feel like most classic vampire movies that the inviting in myth is kind of true, except for the Vampire Diaries. They kind of keep it.
Oh, okay. Okay. Let me bring this up here. I'm going to bring it up here. The Lost Boys. Actually, who was in that? Oh, it was one of those Corey and Corey movies. Corey Feldman, Corey Haim movies. Do you remember the two of them? They were like in a whole bunch of movies during like the 80s.
Yeah.
Lost Boys, 87. So it was 87. I thought it was 80. I thought it was 88. Whatever it was. 87 was when it came out. So Corey Feldman, Corey Haim, they were the big, two of the big names in there. Another person that was in there, it's kind of funny, is Alex Winter. If you're familiar with the Bill and Ted movies, he's the one that played Bill. He played Bill in the Bill and Ted movies. He plays a very minor role in that movie. It's kind of funny to see him in that movie. So that's about all I remember. So it's an okay movie. Some people love this movie. Other people are like, it's okay. It's okay. I would say it's not a bad movie. I wouldn't say it's a great movie though. It's watchable. I remember watching it before the internet. I was watching it, and it was on cable, so I watched it a few times, and I like it. I would watch it if it was on again, but I wouldn't go out of my way to watch it. So it was one of those. There's nothing else on, so I'll watch this kind of a thing. That's what it was.
Yeah.
So,
it's funny you said before the internet, and my instinctive thought was, how do you watch movies before internet? Like I completely forgot cable existed.
Yeah, funny. There was a lot of movies I would watch just for the heck of it because there was nothing else on at the time, no internet, so it was just. And I remember sitting there with the remote, just clicking through all the channels, click, 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 and then sticking on something for like maybe 2 minutes or maybe a minute or so, and then turning the channel because there was just nothing could keep my attention. So I'm glad it's not like that anymore. I really am. But how many other vampire movies? I'm trying to think. There's the Blade movies. This one. I don't think I've really watched too many vampire movies.
There was Nosferatu.
Okay, I didn't see that. What names? Yeah, was that one you liked?
Nosferatu, yeah, it's like one of the classics.
Okay. What year was that one?
Old.
Okay.
What year is old? Okay.
I don't even know how to spell that one. I don't even want to try.
The Nosferatu movie came out in 1979.
Oh, 79. Okay. I'm not really. I'm not a really. Are you a big fan of vampire movies? Because I'm usually not. So,
It
um,
depends. Like when I was younger, most definitely. Now I'm not so angsty, so it's not really my jive anymore.
okay, okay. The
Yeah.
Blade movies for me are a big exception. I like well the first Blade movie anyway. The as the movies progressed, like by the time I got to the third movie, it got kind of stupid. I didn't really care for the third one. So, but the first movie definitely, I love the first Blade, even though the effects are so awful. Some of the CGI was just so cheesy and bad. Even when the movie was out, back then it looked awful. I remember seeing it.
You
Um,
saw it in theaters?
no, I saw it shortly after, within a year or so after. I was at a friend's house, and the friend had a big projection screen monitor. That's I'd never heard of the movie before, and it was probably like 2000 2001. So it was a couple years after it came out. So,
Hmm.
and I was like watching it, and the I think that's where I saw it for the first time. And of course, the car he drives in there is I'm a big car nut, so he was driving a '68 Dodge Charger. And I like the that's a nice looking car. So I don't own one. I'm not really I wouldn't want to own one, but I do think they're pretty cool cars. So um, that was another thing that lured me into it. Did you? How do you feel about the Blade movies?
Oh, they're like hands down one of my favorite movies of all time. Wesley Snipes is probably one of the most like iconic actors of my childhood.
Oh yeah,
Um,
it's very good. Go ahead.
yeah. The third movie I think came out when I was like, I don't know, I had to be like 12, 11, or something. I was very young.
Okay.
Not like six or anything, but very, very, very young. Um, so I thought it was great.
I thought.
uh,
Go ahead. Go ahead. I'll let you finish. I'll go. I'm going to add something to that.
their Dracula villain, I thought was really, really cool.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. They went after Dracula. I forgot about that. Yeah, they actually went after the real Dracula. Now. Right, completely.
Mhm.
Yeah. What I didn't like about it was they killed off Chris Christopherson's character Whistler. They killed him off in the first
Mhm.
movie. Then they rewrote it and said, no, 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 he didn't really die. They in the beginning of the second movie they actually save him, which was like, okay, that's fine. I can accept that. Uh, the third movie they just kill him off again. I'm like, wait a minute. They go all that trouble to save him, rewrite the script, what they call retconning, where they change the premise of what happened earlier,
Mhm.
and then the third week he's just dead. You're like, wait a minute, and his death wasn't even meaningful. He just got killed, and then there was some vampire, or what was that? One of them was pretending to be him later on. I forget. It wasn't him, but it was someone pretending to be him. It was played by the same actor though. I can't remember how that worked. Anyway, and that this kind of pissed me off because I liked the friendship or the father son kind of almost like a father son relationship in the first movie. You know,
Yeah.
the two of them work together, and when Whistler died in the first movie, you could see Wesley Snipes. You could see a walk off. The emotion was really his emotion was really he's good. He's a great actor, like you said, and
Mhm.
it was just he really carried that scene well. And I thought that was very emotional. And then they bring him back, and then they just kill him off. And then the third movie, he didn't even care that Whistler was dead.
He was desensitized. um, yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it was like a thing where like well, to be fair, in the movies they didn't really give Blade a whole lot of motivation, like because he finds his mom and then his mom's a vampire and he has to kill his mom. So Wetzler is like pretty much his only motivation, other
Yeah.
than he just doesn't like vampires. So I guess maybe they figured that was all they had in ways of like prompting the character to do something. So I don't know.
Did you
No,
watch?
but
Go ahead.
hmm?
No, go ahead. I was.
I was just saying, no, I agreed with you. Like, it was a pretty cheesy movie. I definitely think like maybe the second one was my favorite.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah,
Because yeah, he
I
had a
think
whole team of vampires.
Right, right. And then they were like ninja types, and they were wearing the special goggles and all that. And they when they appeared, yeah, it was okay. I like the I like mine is the first one, and the second one's okay. It's okay. I
Mhm.
always like the first one the best. I thought the girlfriend or whatever the love interest, whatever you want to call her, the doctor. I was disappointed to see that she didn't appear in the second movie because I thought she was a good kid.
Yeah, but I wouldn't have liked her as a love interest, you know.
Oh,
Eh.
really? Oh, okay.
Yeah. Eh.
So she
I
was a one-time fling, I guess, and so she's gone. So it was good that she was
oh
ready.
well, he just kind of like rescued her, and then she never went away. um, so like I don't know. I think she reminded him of his mom. I don't think she was ever really like a love interest.
Oh, okay, okay. Well, okay,
Mhm.
okay. The what was you? How did you ever see the TV series that came out after it?
There was a TV series that came out after it.
Yeah, I think I watched the first episode and I didn't like it, so I never watched it. It was not Wesley Snipes was not involved in it. So
Well, I think wasn't there a point in which he went to prison or something? Who am I thinking of?
yeah, for tax evasion. Yeah, he went to
Yeah.
yeah. It was a lot of money he didn't pay. So yeah, I remember that. But I don't think, from what I understand, he did not want anything to do with the show after that. And from also what I understand, I've heard people talk about behind the scenes. He didn't. He wanted more control, or he was just hard to get along with, according to some people. And no, that's just
Mhm.
an opinion, of course. But it was very hard. Basically, after the third movie, he just didn't want to do anything. He wanted nothing to do with it after that. So um,
Mm.
it would have been interesting if he was in it. I might have stuck with it, but since it wasn't him, and the first episode was just boring. I think I watched the entire thing, and it just didn't feel like the movies at all. Just, I mean, not as exciting as the movies, I should say. And
Yeah.
so I didn't bother watching it. So after the first episode, that is. So and I remember when it first came out. That was usually I don't watch too much TV. For some reason, I was actually watching that one. I guess because I like the movie so much. There are references in this movie. Imagery are yeah. I guess you could call it a homage of sorts to the movie Baraka. Have you ever seen the movie Baraka?
No, is that like that's not in reference to the Mortal Kombat character, is it?
I don't think so.
Am I just a nerd? Okay.
I won't call you that. No, but maybe you are.
Oh well.
This is the movie Baraka.
Mhm.
This movie, I can bring up another site that actually is a little better. Give me a second here. This movie is a movie without dialogue. There's only a few movies I've ever seen like this, and hold on a second, I'm bringing it up. It's called Spirit of Baraka. Make sure I'm spelling it right. .com. Oops, give me a second. I hope I'm typing this right. I'll bring it up on the screen as soon as it comes up here. Yes, here we go. Got it. Here we go. Spirit of Baraka. It's a movie it was directed by Ron Frick, and he did other movies as well. There was a sequel to this. There's actually this is technically in a sense like a sequel to another movie that came out in 1985. This one came out in 1992. But anyway,
Mhm.
it's a movie with no dialogue whatsoever, and a lot of really beautiful imagery from around the world. Several countries were filmed, and when I saw this, it made me appreciate the entire world as a whole. You know,
Mhm.
it shows that there's something really positive out there. So, there's a lot, obviously there's always negative things, but this really shows a lot of positive aspects of the world itself. So, and in the movie, the first Blade movie, there are scenes that are clear homages to this movie in it.
Oh yeah.
There's a scene where right before Blade he's going off to fight, and there's a camera panning into a vase of some kind. I can't remember exactly what the scene was, but he was getting ready to go off to fight, and the music that's played is the exact same music from Baraka, and the way the camera is moving toward the vase in the movie is identical to the camera work that was done in Baraka. It was clearly a homage to this movie.
Mhm.
So, so it's really interesting, and some of the fast frame in Blade, there's some scenes where they show stop motion where the sun came up and rose really fast. Like they sped the image up. That they did things like that in Baraka as well. So you could tell that they were heavily there was not heavily, but there was influences from Baraka that were implemented into Blade. It's very obvious.
That's really cool.
So, this is a movie I would
I
highly recommend.
wonder. Yeah, I'll totally give it a watch. I wonder what made them use homages to this movie.
It's if you once you watch this movie, it's hard to describe. Once you see this movie, you never forget this movie. It's just it just it's beautiful for, in my opinion, beautiful from beginning to end. The music is phenomenal. It's really good. The score is really good. It flows with the imagery. There's sometimes it's very slow paced. Sometimes it's very rapid, fast. Like I said, like the people, like they're fast. They're moving through time lapse. Everything's sped up, and it's done very well, orchestrated very well. Like some of the imagery is kind of dated looking because they showed the Gulf War from 1992 when the United States went in and invaded Iraq. And you can see the oil fields that were set on fire during that war. So that's really scary looking. It's really, well, I don't know if it's scary, but intense, really intense, I should say, stuff like that. So, and it makes the movie look a little dated because it's, unless you know what you're looking at. Most of the other stuff is kind of timeless, but that's the only like one of the few dated references that are in there. So, but there's this movie over here where it says Double Play, where it says Samsara. That's the sequel to Baraka. That's another one. I've never finished watching it all the way through yet. So I have it. I just haven't finished watching it yet.
How long is it?
It's like about an hour and a half, both of them. So it's an average movie, average length for a movie. So I've watched it. I've watched it basically so many times that it's like I know the whole thing from beginning to end. So anyway, well, did you want to wrap everything up? Okay, let me bring up our question.
Yeah, I think that's it for.
Yeah, let me bring our question up one more time so we can see if we got any comments or anything. Nope, no comments. We're up to 124, and it's basically the same. So I was hoping that maybe we get a comment or two, but no. Oh wait, we do have a comment. Sam Deep says yes, but it's all myths and legends. There's no vampire in this universe, with little smiley faces.
Well, 9% of commenters would disagree.
Oh, that's true.
So,
So what do you think about that, Sandeep? Okay, well, we while we were talking, I didn't really bring it up, but there were some people just saying hi to me. I would want to periodically. They didn't ask any questions in the comment section, so I did respond to some of them and said hi to them back. So nothing was really relevant to the conversation. Sorry, so I didn't really draw attention to it. But hi everybody that said hi and I didn't say hi back to. I'm saying hi to you right now. So and don't forget to say hi to Chardonnay. She's also part of this. All right, so we'll go ahead and wrap everything up, and we'll see everyone next time. And thanks for watching.